Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea about happiness from Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. What if I told you that everything you think you know about finding joy is actually the very thing holding you back? So, to get started, let's go way back, like 2,500 years ago, to the foothills of the Himalayas. It's a really old story, but trust me, it holds the key to a very, very modern problem we all face. Okay, so picture this. There's a king who's determined to give his son a perfect life. So he builds this massive palace, walls it off from the world, and just showers the kid with every luxury you can possibly imagine. The prince literally grows up knowing nothing but pleasure, completely clueless about the tough stuff of human existence. But, a perfect bubble like that, it's just not meant to last. As a young man, he gets curious and sneaks out beyond the palace walls. And bam! For the first time ever, he sees real life, sickness, people getting old, and even death. It was horrifying for him. He suddenly realized that suffering wasn't just some abstract idea. It was a guaranteed part of life. Now, you might have guessed it, that prince would grow up to be known as the Buddha. And this whole experience, this shock to his system, it became the absolute core of his philosophy, that pain and loss are gonna happen, and fighting that fact is pointless. We should just not resist them. So, what does this ancient story have to do with us today? Well, it pretty much takes a sledgehammer to our whole modern idea of what it means to be happy. We are just surrounded by this idea that happiness is something you can achieve, right? Like it's a goal. Manson calls it algorithmic, which is just a fancy way of saying we treat it like a recipe. Follow the steps and boom, you get the reward. And this leads to what you could call if-then thinking. You know the drill. If I get that job, then I'll be happy. If I just looked a certain way, then my life would be great. It's like we're on a treadmill, always chasing something that's just out of reach. And here's where the book drops its big idea. What if that whole premise is just wrong? What if the very idea that happiness is a goal you have to achieve is the one thing that's actually keeping you from it? Now, to really help us get our heads around this, Manson brings in let's just say, a very unusual superhero to explain things. I want you to meet Disappointment Panda. Yep, his job isn't to swoop in and save the day. It's to show up and save you from your own fantasies. His superpower is literally just telling you the hard truths you really need to hear, but have been actively trying to avoid. And here is his first truth bomb for you: problems never, ever go away. Solving one problem just creates a new one. You finally save up enough money for a down payment, and now you have the problem of a mortgage. You get into a great relationship, and now you have the problem of learning how to communicate. Life isn't about getting rid of problems, it's about upgrading them. And that's the whole point, really. A good life is not a life with zero problems. It's a life filled with good problems. I mean, think about it. Stressing about a tough project at a job you love is a way better problem than stressing about how you're going to pay rent this month. You get to choose your problems. So, all this brings us to a really radical new definition of what happiness even is, and, more importantly, where you can actually find it. First thing, forget about some finish line. Happiness is not a destination. It's not this peaceful, problem-free paradise you get to one day. No. Happiness is the process. It's found in the active, messy, day-to-day work of solving your problems. The happiness is the struggle itself. Manson calls this a never-ending upward spiral. It's kind of like leveling up in a video game. You face a challenge, you struggle, and then you overcome it. And that feels great, right? That's happiness. But beating that level just leads to a new, harder level, a better problem. And that's how you grow. And here's the punchline to this whole thing. Just think for a second. The most meaningful, memorable moments of your life, were they the easy ones, or were they the ones where you struggled and overcame something huge? See? The happiness isn't waiting for you at the top of the mountain. The real joy, it's in the climb. So this all means we need to do a complete mental flip. We have to stop asking, what pleasure do I want? And start asking, what pain am I willing to put up with to get what I want? The point isn't to chase good feelings. It's to choose your struggle. Happiness just becomes this awesome side effect of solving problems you actually care about. So we're left with this one last, really powerful question. The most important question that will shape your life isn't what you enjoy, it's what problems do you want to have? Because who you are, that's defined by the struggles you're willing to take